And so then we come to chakra 3 at the level of the navel. Manipura means the city, Pura, of the shining jewel. And here the energy is aggressive. To conquer, to consume, to turn everything into oneself. We have an Adlerian psychology at this point, a total transformation. Now, one of the problems in the early Freud camp was already recognized here. Freud giving sex as the prime energy, and Adler giving the will to power as the prime energy. And for some people it is one, for some of the other. Jung comes in then, and just when these two are fighting this thing out, and in his view, yes, there are people running this way, there are people that way. All of us have both, and one is recessive and the other dominant in any given case. And so he's had this psychology of the duality in what he called enantiodromia, where you tip over and your sex drive suddenly gives way to a violence drive, or your winning drive suddenly gives way to sex. They're in opposition to each other in our lives. And so here we have a primarily power-dominated chakra. Now this, in the Sanskrit, is very important. This is the one from which most of the energies have to be generated. Look at that. It's an ominous lotus. The petals are described as having the color of lightning-laden thunderclouds. In the center is the womb, the yoni, fire, energy. This swastika motif here means movement, energy, violence. The syllable is rang, and the animal is ram, who represents the vehicle of the god of fire, Agni. The fire of the womb, the fire of the sun, the fire of the sacrificial altar. These are the same fire. They're the transforming fires. Womb is the transforming medium, transforming past into future. The gods here is Shiva and his consort. Shiva in his violent aspect. His consort, Rakini, her jaws and breasts smeared with the blood and fat of sacrifices. Here is, we saw this yesterday, this gorgeous thing, Shiva Tripurantaka, Shiva, the annihilator of the three worlds of the demons, the obstructors, wiping them out, going crash right through this wall, passing as though they weren't there, all the obstructions. And now we get to the deep stuff. Here she is in her Durga aspect, riding the lion. But here she is as black time, Kali. Kali means black, Kali means time. That's her name. Black time, out of which all things come, back into which they go. The void, the transcendent, the mother and tomb of all things. Don't be afraid. Nothing's happening, just a ripple on the surface. And here is her prime altar, the battlefield. Sacrifice. And this is the yoga of war. The individual gives himself up to the Lord Death and is not in protection of himself, but is moved by the tides of history